Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSC English. About me, I'm Sandeep Bhushan and my credentials are I have 8 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security and then analysis of Hindu newspaper. And this video is in regards to how to crack prelims 2020. Prior to that, you have a notification in regards to Let's Crack UPSC CSC English, which is India's largest learning platform. And once you get subscribed to this, you will have access to unlimited live and recorded courses from India's best educators. Along with that, you have the other privileges like you have the daily live classes wherein you can chat with your educator, engage in discussions, and also in regards to live test and quizzes wherein you can evaluate your preparation with our regular mock test and quizzes. You also have the structured courses wherein all our courses are structured in line with UPSC syllabus. You also have the unlimited access upon subscription. You can go ahead with access to all our live and recorded courses through your mobile or laptop. You also have the top educators at Unacademy, and these are the one who are the among few in regards to the top educators. And then you have even on this slide you have the various top educators, and you also have the in the UPSC CSC you have various courses that are polity, you have geography, current affairs, you have, and then science and technology UPSC batches. And then in regards to other courses, you also have the UPS in the UPSC Let's Crack UPSC CSC. You have governance, Indian society, answer writing, and also in regards to the interview preparation. So these are the one which are part of the Let's Crack UPSC CSC courses. And when it comes to the UPSC CSC subscription, you have 12 month subscription and also you have 24 month subscription. For 12 month subscription, the original price is 40,000 and you can subscribe by using my code SBT10, and once you use my code SBT10 you'll get a discount of 10%, and the discounted amount would be, the price would be 36,000. So you have the other one, that is 24 month subscription, wherein the original price is 48,000, and once you subscribe with using my code SBT10 you will get 10% discount and the discounted price is 43,200. It's always recommended that you go ahead with subscribing the 24 months, because for 24 months actually you will be paying only for the 12 months plus 1 month, that is 13 months of amount you will be paying, but you can have the subscription for the entire 24 months. So again, by using my code SBT10 upon 48,000 you would be getting 10% off and the amount would be 43,200. So it's always recommended that go ahead with subscription with 24 months, which is also useful for a serious preparation for UPSC examination. Not only that, you can also, not only that you can view my classes live on recorded, but also all the other top educators you can go ahead with watching the courses of various other educators. You can watch it once you subscribe it. You can go ahead with the Unacademy special classes and also in regards to the Unacademy plus classes. So you have a lot of benefits. So please go ahead with subscribing 24 months. And in regards to the today's topic, that is analysis of the Hindu newspaper, the topics to be discussed today is that you have the free testing and treatment and low German fatality rates. Then prior to getting into the topics, you have Nitesh Kumar who says hello sir, and then I would also respond to you. Hello Nitesh. Hello Nitesh, and hello to everyone who are watching this video or the class. And please let me know whenever you have any kind of doubts. Please let me know so that we will have a very good interactive session which would be useful for the prelims 2020 and also in regards to the descriptive, that is mains point of view. Now we will get into the topic free testing and treatment. So what is important now is as we have experienced that the entire country is under national lockdown, and we have entered into the second week, and now we are very clear that the lockdown has definitely, what do you say, has stopped, or it has put an halt to the way it was actually supposed to be spreading the virus COVID-19. But because of the national lockdown, we have seen, or because of implementing a stricter measure in regards to the social distancing, we could see that the COVID-19 virus did not spread virulently, and in fact, it was the government of India which was bargaining time to contain the virus, because as we all are aware that the India's health infrastructure is not that impressive, or the way it is with the modern economies or the world developed countries. So the need of the hour for the government was to make sure that the national lockdown, that is making sure that we maintain the social distancing, and also making sure that we contain the spread of the virus or break the transmission of the virus. So this was very important in regards to the national lockdown. So national lockdown is very, very important at this moment. But there is something which is also, what is say, we need to look beyond the national lockdown, because national lockdown has definitely impacted the, as we are all aware that, again I would reiterate it, that here it has impacted the migrant workers, it has impacted the workers who were part of the un, unorganized sectors, and also in regards to the informal sectors, or who have lost their jobs because of the production units and the manufacturing units which have been shut. Now the point is that we need to look beyond the national lockdown. That is because of the national lockdown there is an emergence in regards to the health crisis, and also in regards to the upsurge or the increase of unemployment. So unemployment is one of the issue, and also in regards to the other issue is the health crisis. So definitely there are two areas wherein the national lockdown, one side it is actually, what you say, contain the virus, but the other side is that even though we are able to contain the virus, but still we are unable to, what you say, make sure that the unemployment is surging and we are unable to contain it. So definitely the unemployment can be taken into consideration, can be, what you say, handled it in a proper way. But the one which is the need of the hour is very important, is in regards to the health crisis, and that is what we are focusing now. We need to look beyond the national lockdown, and we have to look at the tests. This is very important. Test is very important, because as we are aware that across the world, if you look at Spain, if you look at Iceland, and if you look at even China, and the European countries, what has happened is the person or the individual is actually not showing any symptoms. That is asymptomatic person who is not showing any symptoms, but when tested, that particular individual is infected by coronavirus. Please do understand this. So national lockdown can make sure that the spread of virus do not take place, but at the same time we would also have the asymptomatic persons or asymptomatic individuals being increased. So this is what is important. When we are unable to go ahead with the test, when we are not going ahead with the laboratory test, so it is very, very difficult to identify a person who is asymptomatic but actually is infected by the virus. Please do understand this point. Asymptomatic, that means no signs of any symptoms of COVID-19, that is SARS-CoV-2, but he or she will be infected by the virus, and that can be detected only by the test. That cannot be detected by the national lockdown. Please do understand. So what is important is the test, and the rest who have joined now also, I would say once again hi to everyone. The one who have just joined, hi to everyone. And any doubts, please let me know in the chat box, so that we will try to look at, and then try to, what you say, have a better interactive sessions. And then in regards to the central government, now what it has decided is that as per the ICMR, that is Indian Council for Medical Research, has now looked into that, or it has understood that it is the need of the hour now to go ahead with the free testing. So what is important now, the ICMR or the central government has decided that they will go ahead with the free testing and treatment. So this is very important. As I say that three tests are important, three tests, three T's. When I'm saying test, it is three T's or three That is, you have to trace, you have to test, and you have to treat. You have to trace, you have to test, and you have to treat. So what is important is, before testing you need to trace the person who is asymptomatic but infected by the virus. That is really difficult, and that can only take place when you go ahead with the, what do you say, random test. Only then it is possible. So now the government has identified the need of the hour, that is in regards to going ahead with the free testing and treatment. And now the central government has gone ahead with the free testing and treatment under the Ayushman Bharat scheme. This is again very important in regards to the prelims point of view. In regards to the prelims point of view, that the COVID-19, in regards to the free testing, the government has come up with free testing, providing the free testing and treatment under which among the following schemes. So it is Ayushman Bharat scheme, and definitely it will be this, because it is related to the health. So it will be targeting around 50 crore Ayushman beneficiaries. That means the beneficiaries who are vulnerable and who are part of the Ayushman Bharat scheme, they will be looked into, or they will be provided the free testing and treatment. And that too, it can be done even in regards to any designated private hospitals across the country. That means wherein the government will designate those private hospitals, and those private hospitals which are designated by the central government and which are under the, what you say, Ayushman Bharat scheme in regards to the testing and then in regards to treatment of the COVID-19 patients. So it can be, what you say, used, or it can be taken into consideration that they can go ahead with the testing and then treatment of the COVID-19. And this is as per the protocol set up by the Indian Council for Medical Research and by the private labs. So definitely this will be under the, what is it, decided by the central government, but the protocols set will be by the Indian Council for Medical Research and by the private lab. So this is very important. It has been decided by the central government, but the protocols in regards to the testing and treatment for the COVID-19 patients under the Ayushman Bharat scheme will be decided by the protocols which are set by the ICMR, but not by the government or not by the health ministry or the central health ministry. It will be protocols set by the ICMR, and making the testing and treatment available under the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This is nothing but it will significantly expand the capacities, because as of now India under, Indian government through the government hospitals or through the government, what is it, or else ICMR, which has gone ahead with, what is it, giving permissions to the private laboratories. ICMR giving permission to the private laboratories in regards to the testing. If you look at, we have the limited resources. We have the limited resources in regards to the testing capacity. So this will improve the, or expand the capacity. Why? Because we are considering the private labs. We are considering the private hospitals. So when we are considering the private labs and the private hospitals, definitely the testing capacity, or it will expand the capacity of the testing, it will also expand the capacity of the treatment. So this is actually being done to make sure that more of testing and treatment takes into consideration, and this will mitigate the adverse impact what the, actually the poor people or the vulnerable section of the people are actually, what is say, facing because of the COVID-19. And then we will look at what is Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, again which will be useful for the prelims point of view. So AB PMJAY, that is Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, has been, what you see, initiated by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 23rd September 2018. Again for prelims point of view, factual point of view, which is very important, that is at Ranchi, Jharkhand, it has been, what you say, initiated by our Prime Minister. And then what is the intention is that by the Prime Minister or the government of India is that each and every citizen is, what is protected, or he or she is under the share of the healthcare, wherein the government is providing to the health infrastructure through the health infrastructure. So the government of India or the Prime Minister of India wants to make sure that each and every citizen receives his or her due share of healthcare. That means it has become voluntary that each and every person can be part of the, or else the each and every part, when I am saying that it is the vulnerable section, that is almost 50 crore beneficiaries are identified by the government of India, and they are part of the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, and this is the world's largest government funded healthcare program. This is very very important because this could be again the factual point in regards to the prelims point of view. It is the world's largest government funded healthcare program because it targets more than 50 crore beneficiaries. So this is a very big, what is a program or healthcare program taken up by the government of India, which is really very very important. Because if you look at, I would add one point here again for Prince point of view, which has been quoted by even by the WHO, that almost the amount of spending we go ahead, that is from the income what we have, I mean Indians, almost 62% of the income we spent on the expenditure for the hospitals, for the medicines and for the diagnosis. So please do understand, 62% we are spending, the Indians are spending out of the income in regards to the hospitals or diagnosis or in regards to the medication, that is the tablets or the drugs. So this is what is actually going on, and then because of this, what is say almost 60 percentage of the income what we are spending, the rest of the amount is not actually is sufficient for the individuals across the nation to go ahead with the consumptions. That is, the purchasing power parity is reducing. When the purchasing power parity is reducing, because there is no enough of money, or whatever income we are having, the salary 60% is been expenditure is been allocated to the health. So the rest is just what you say, we are unable, the Indians are unable to go ahead with the consumption capacity. So the consumption capacity has become less, and wherein the purchasing power parity has also become less. So thereby the chain cycle, that is the more of what is a manufacturing sector, so the products are not being what you say consumed in the market. So the government has felt that yes, it is a duty of the government to take care of the healthcare of the each and every individual, that is the vulnerable sections. And not only that, once there is what is a people who comes under, then the purchasing power per capacity or the parity also increases individually across the nation. So that is very important, why it is the world's largest government funded healthcare program, and this covers 5 lakhs rupees. It will provide 5 lakhs rupees per family per year. This is very very important again for Prince point of view. What is that amount which is been what you say covered as an insurance to the, or else to the giving the to the through the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is rupees 5 lakhs per family. That is for secondary and tertiary care hospitals or hospitalization. This is again important for prelims point of view, because there is always a possibility that UPSC might always try to confuse you. So rupees 5 lakhs per family per year, and that too for the secondary and tertiary, not the primary healthcare centers, but the secondary and tertiary care hospitalizations. And then we have this 10.74 crore vulnerable entitled families, that are approximately 50 crore beneficiaries. So when we are talking about the beneficiaries individually, it is 50 crore, but when we are talking in regards to the vulnerable families, it is 10.74 crore vulnerable families. Please do understand the difference, because there is always a possibility, as I am repeatedly saying, that UPSC will just try to confuse you. Even though you know that answer, you know the entire information, but it will definitely try to confuse you. And then the families, when you are talking about, it is 10.74 crore. When it is the individual beneficiaries, it is 50 crore beneficiaries. So there is a difference between, and then you please look at it, which will be very very useful for the prelims point of view. And then in regards to the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, it will provide a cashless and a paperless access to service. That is very important, because when it is going ahead with the 50 crore beneficiaries, it is very important that it has to be a systemized one. It has to be in a process wherein it should be in a transaction manner, wherein there should not be much of what is a paperwork. Because if there is more paperwork, and then if it is more of cash, then there it would delay the services. It will delay the services. To overcome this delaying of the services and to reach the beneficiary at the point of service, So that is why it has taken into consideration that PMJAY will provide cashless and paperless access to service, so that it will improve and it will make sure that the access will be fast. There will not be any delay in regards to the services provided by the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. And what is that? The main intention of Ayushman Bharat is to make sure that it is a promotive, preventive, and curative and rehabilitative aspects as per the universal healthcare system. So this is very important again for prelims and also for mains point of view, because when we are talking about universal healthcare, that means these are in regards to the sustainable development goals. Please to understand here again for prelims point of view, sustainable development goals. I think everyone who are listening are understanding the importance of how we are focusing the Ayushman Bharat in regards to the rehabilitative aspects or the promotive, preventive, curative, and the palliative and then rehabilitative aspects of universal healthcare system. Because universal healthcare system, when we are talking about, again we are linking it with the sustainable development goals. I suppose you all are aware that how many sustainable development goals are there. Can anyone please let me know? Can they type? I would just wait for you. How many sustainable development goals are there? And then even the healthcare is one of the sustainable development goals. Can you please key in the chat box how many sustainable development goals are there? I'm waiting for you before I move to the further. And then this would be with the three intention. What is the intention of the, what you say, the Ayushman Bharat? It wanted to contain the cost, and then it wanted to improve the care quality, and also it wanted to bridge the existing gaps whatever is been, what you say, actually in the service in regards to the health services. Okay, Nitesh Kumar says that I don't know, sir. Okay, fine. There are 17 sustainable development goals, so which are very important for the civil servant aspirants. So we need to, when you are able to understand this 17 sustainable development goals, and when you are able to differentiate these sustainable development goals, please try to understand that you are ready for the prelims 2020, you are ready for the mains 2020, because entire syllabus of UPSC or all the welfare schemes taken by the government of India are part of the 17 sustainable development goals. I suppose you are all understanding it. All the welfare schemes taken by the government of India would certainly be part of the sustainable development goals. So everything you take the welfare schemes, it will be part of it. It could be health, or it could be ecology, environment, or it could be any kind of, what you say, trying to make sure that climate change or education, everything falls under the sustainable development goals. So again, when we are talking about here, that is in regards to the universal healthcare system is also part of the sustainable development goals. And what is the intention? The three intentions are in regards to the containing cost. This is very important, containing, because what is important for the vulnerable sections is that they have to make sure that the cost is reduced. I mean, they would be affordable. Even though if they are not affordable, then the government will come to the rescue. And then what is important is, as they cannot go ahead with getting into the private hospitals for the healthcare, so the government through the Ayushman Bharat will go ahead with the improving the care quality to the vulnerable entitled families, and then they would bridge the existing gaps what they are actually facing it. So this is what is in regards to the Ayushman Bharat if it is asked in the prelims. And then again linking it with the COVID-19, wherein the government has accepted the testing and the treatment will go ahead with even in the entitled private hospitals, which are, what you say, again under the protocols of the ICMR. So taking into consideration of the contemporary issue, that is in regards to the COVID-19 testing and treatment of the patients, and again in regards to the Ayushman Bharat, we have looked into the factual points for the prelims 2020. Now we will look at the other one, which talks about low German fatality rates. So definitely there is a, what you say, a news item which talks about the German low. This is important. Low fatality rates. That means the death cases because of the COVID-19. If you look at, the fatality rates are low in German because of the COVID-19, and this has become a mystery to other countries. Why there is less fatality rates in German? Because of what you say COVID-19, but when you compare it with the other European countries, the fatality rate is high compared to the German fatality rates. Now we will look at it. So there is a new concept which has come up in Germany, that is called as corona taxis. So this is corona taxis. So what is this corona taxis? Taxis. This is the medics or the what do you say, the person or the frontline health workers are outfitted with a protective gear, and they are driving around the empty streets of Heidelberg. It's pronounced as Heidelberg, Germany, to check on patients who are at home. This is a very, very not innovative method wherein the German has come up with in the Heidelberg place in Germany, wherein these corona taxis, wherein the frontline health workers with their protective gears are getting into the empty streets, and then they are trying to check the patients who are at home and who are actually into being sick for almost 4 to 6 days if they are sick. And if they are sick but because of any kind of symptoms of the SARS-CoV-2, then this, what do you say, the corona taxis will go to them, get them, and then they will go ahead with suggesting to be hospitalized, even though when they are having a mild symptoms of the coronavirus. So this is a new concept, innovative concept, which has been taken up in Germany, that is in Heidelberg, with the concept of corona taxes. And then they are making sure that the one who is sitting at home, if there are any kind of what you say symptoms and they are sick for 5 to 6 days, they are picked up and they are being suggested to be hospitalized. And then now we will look at why is Germany death rate so low, because it is becoming a mystery. So why it is a mystery, we will look at. So according to the Johns Hopkins University, there are almost 92,000 infections as per what you say April 3rd, 2020, and which is what you say more than any other country except US, Italy, and Spain. If you compare with these three countries, I mean, apart from that, you have the what you say 92,000 infections in Germany. But how could they, what do you say, try to make sure that even though the infections of the COVID-19 patients are 92,000, but the fatality rates or the death cases are low? Because if you look at the infections, 92,000, and if we look at the death cases, it is 1,295 death cases. That is the fatality rate. And this fatality rate, when you compare, it is just standing at 1.4 percentage out of the infected patients, COVID patients. The fatality rate is just 1.4% of the total infected persons. And we compare with the fatality rate in Italy, it is 12% in Italy. And when you compare in Spain, that is 10% in Spain, which is also in France and Britain 10%. And when you compare in China, it is 4%, and in United States, as of now, it is 2.5%. So the fatality rate comparing with German to Italy, Spain, France, Britain, and also China, wherein it has initially the SARS-CoV-2 has originated, and also United States, which is now the epicenter of the COVID-19. If you compare, the fatality rate is comparatively very, very, very low, 1.4 percentage. Why? The question is why? Why? Because we will look at the answers now. Why? Because there are more testing happening for more people. So that is very important. Testing is happening, more of testing is happening. So that is the main reason they are able to identify. That is because of the innovative idea, that is in regards to the corona taxes. Because of the corona taxes, they are able to identify the sick people, and then they are hospitalizing them, and that they are testing them. And then when they are testing them, even though what you say, they're catching all of the people with very few or no symptoms, that means that is making them the number of fatalities to reduce. That means the testing is happening, testing and treating is happening, wherein the virus is, that making sure that the virus do not infect the person beforehand. They are testing it and they are hospitalizing it, and they are treating those people, what do you say, the one who have been suspected to be, or else if whenever they are falling sick itself, they are testing it. And that is very important. And along with that, they have a significant medical factors, that is in regards to the epidemiologists and virologists. They say that They have the early and widespread testing, that is very important as we discussed, and also in regards to the early treatment. And they also have the plenty of intensive care beds, that is very important. That is what is lacking in India. Health infrastructure is lacking in India. That has to be taken into consideration, and now it is a need of the hour for India also to concentrate on the testing and treatment. That is why ICMR is also, along with the government, is also making sure that they will go ahead with the testing and treatment, and then it would be under the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Please do try to understand the importance of fatality rate when it is low, when there are more of testing, and the fatality rates will be high when there are, what is the testing will be very less comparatively, then the fatality rate will be high. And then the other point is, when all this is going on, they will have a, what you say, confidence on the government, because even though the government is going ahead with the social distancing guidelines, which are kind of, what you say, stress on the people, but still they are going ahead with accepting and then having trust on the government, because the testing is happening, because the treatment is happening. Because of that, the fatality rate or the death cases are very less compared to the other European countries, and also comparing it with China and then US. And then the the place when I was talking about in Germany, that is, it's called as Heidelberg. It's called as Heidelberg in Germany. So this is the Heidelberg which we are talking about in Germany, where a lot of, what is the, corona taxes are taking are getting onto the streets with the protective gear, and then trying to get into the people who are sick for 5 to 6 days, and then suggesting them to be hospitalized, early testing, treatment, and then fatality rate low. And the other reason, and when we look at the age, the relative age low is 49 in Germany now. Because of that, the infected rates are comparatively low, along with the testing and treatment. Please do understand, the average age is low, that is 49, and then corona taxes, identifying people, testing them, treating them, the fatality rate is low. And then when you compare it with the France, the relatively, what do you say, age is 62.5, and in Italy 62. That means there are elderly people here or senior citizens, and there is a possibility that the SARS-CoV-2 will definitely, what do you say, attack the senior citizens who have comparatively low immunity. But it is not, what you say, that scientifically proved that only it will be attacking the elderly citizens or the senior citizens. But if precautionary measures are not taken, even the relatively low age or mid age, it could, the only reason is making sure that testing has to be done, and that is what is very important. So we have looked at the kind of testing and treatment what the government has come up in regards to asking, or it would be part of the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. We have looked at this, what do you say about Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana in regards to the prelims point of view, that is factual, and also in regards to the this point which is universal healthcare in regards to the main point of view, that is sustainable development goals. And also we have looked at the German Heidelberg, which the fatality rates are very less, wherein it is a mystery, and we have understood why the mystery is, what is how the mystery is solved, because of the reasons we have looked at. And I hope this would be a very what do you say, important session, and a class for you, a better explanation for the prelims point of view in regards to linking it with the factual, and then in regards to the analytical point of English. So please, if you haven't subscribed the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English channel, please go ahead with subscribing, and please do subscribe for 24 months by using my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Tumala 10, and you will get 10% discount when you are subscribing for 24 months. I recommend you to subscribe for 24 months, because for 24 months you would be actually paying the amount only for the 13 months. So you would be paying for the amount of 13 months, but you would be getting the entire subscription for 24 months. So please do take the advantage. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead with subscribing, and then I would Thank you all, and then see you tomorrow at the same time with more information for the prelims 2020 and mains 2020. Thank you very much.